thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you draw value from this episode, and please share it with your friends and your family and get this message out as far as possible so we can reach as many people that needs to hear this message. Thank you so much.
Like and share. It's like you say, the conditions, that's is it all this topic? It's the conditions of our hearts, and everything rises and falls from that. Yeah, it's not just leadership. If you are a good leader, it's because there's something good in the heart. If you are a bad one, that's to say there's something that's not right within the heart. And it's like the word of God says that guard your heart with all diligence, guard it above all, because from it
Issues.
sprout the issues of life. That says it all, the issues. So yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That carries a lot of weight.
Mm.
I think we can actually start off with that because the issues of life will sprout from your heart. And a lot of things that we experience and we go through in life um, rises and falls on that, because whatever is in your heart is what you will put out into the world, is what you will, how you will treat people, how you will treat your family, how you will treat yourself, very importantly. Because if you are not good in your heart, if your heart is rotten inside, you can't accomplish things, you can't live a happy life. It's almost like faking it. Fake it till you make it.
They say, wow.
But that is not the way to live your life. You want to live your life wholeheartedly.
And why must you fake a thing if you can be the real version?
The real version.
You get what I'm saying? So it's I like to say with the heart, it's like if you speak and you behave in any way, good or bad, it's just a reflection of what is with inside. And it's like I say, if you have a trust issue with yourself, you are insecure and you feel like you don't belong in that within your heart. Guess what? No, nobody might know that. But guess where will they see it? In our actions,
In the fruits.
in the fruit that comes out. So situations and circumstances will occur not to what's the name? To it is just happening. It it is there to see. It's like a toothpaste. If there is toothpaste in that tube and you press it, toothpaste will come out. But what will come out if life presses us?
Sure.
What will come out is actually what was already in our hearts all these years. Might it be from childhood? You have been rejected, abandoned, or been speak down upon, or whatever, in circles, friends at school, teachers, mothers, fathers that spoke bad, whatever the case may be. When life press, that will be
that will
the
come to
thing, yeah.
surface. Yes. And a lot of people have this ways and things based because of the things that are in their hearts, the things they speak, negativity, always looking at the bad side of things and so forth. But like you said, that comes from either childhood events, rejection, or whatever. And many times we need to look at the condition of our heart, check what is in our hearts, what comes out of our mouths, what happens when we speak to other people. Do they feel like they've drawn value from us? Do they feel like they've gotten something from you? Or did they feel like do they feel like they are now worse off? They left everything with you after you have spoken, after you have given or said whatever you said. But that is what was in your heart. That is the things that are coming out of your heart. But we need to trace back and look back. What are these things that causes us to have these things in our hearts? What was the event that took place that made you feel like, I want to keep this, I'm going to hold on to it? And holding on to those events throughout our life gets us to this point where we are today, where we are battling to get rid of things inside of our hearts. Many times it's things that we try to stop or try to get rid of, but why can we not get it out of our hearts?
It's like they say, a lot likes to say, that snake could bite me, and because of that, the person died. Nobody ever dies of a snake bite. No
How
one.
do you mean?
People die because of the poison, not from the bite, but from the poison. What am I saying?
Sure.
People will say things it will hurt you, but it's not that that would cause you to be bitter, angry, and that. It's when it gets into your heart. That's why David said, put a guard before my mouth. Why is it we are protecting everything? We take out life cover, we take out life insurances for our houses, for our cars,
Sure.
for a cat, a dog, and everything. But we have a insurance, a gate before our hearts?
Sure.
Because it's important that really does make sure that a burglar don't come in. It will take effort for him to get in. But why is it that we allow so quick people breaking into our hearts?
Sure.
Because we don't pay attention. Because it's so little. It's a little thing as we see it, but it's a big thing actually in the spiritual. That's why God says it's the condition of our heart. He says you can do anything, but what is the motive? What is the condition of your heart? Why are you doing it? Because you cannot camouflage that thing. It will come out. So yeah.
And if we as people are easily if our conditions of our hearts are easily determined by other people's actions, then we are in trouble.
Whoa.
Because that means anything gets into your heart. That means there's no system blocking off. That means it doesn't do this. You know when they say in the one ear, out of the, that's not what's happening. It's in by the one ear, down to the heart. And then it says that.
Wow. Yeah.
And that affects people so heavily. And I've seen people break down because of those things.
You know what? It is so now that we're speaking about this topic, is that there was a time where you see most the Facebook stuff, pictures, posting it and that. And there was a time when I saw, hey, here's these people posting these things, and they didn't invite me even. First of all, I felt like an outcast. We aren't friends, but it didn't invite me. Here's the pictures, everything, and guess what? It hit me. Sure. But after that, I was sitting with my time with God, and I said, Daddy, what is this all about? I feel offended over a picture that I saw on Facebook about friends that I say friends. They are alone out there. And guess what? I was rebuked to say, if you were supposed to be there, then you would have been there. But I blame you.
Sure.
You have to know your place in everybody's lives, where you fit in. So if you were not there, you were not meant to be there. And you know what? I had to back off and say, Forgive me, sorry, Father, but that is just to show me I didn't know that was lying dormant in my heart until an event happened. So I could have taken that like I took it in a negative, but it was God trying to show me that you can take that as a negative, Sylvester. But there's the positive side to it. Start to do introspection in yourself. That is actually what is deep within. A lot like to say, I'm not jealous, I'm not greedy, but wait for a buffet or a wedding or a what, then you see how they eat. You see how they behave.
You are actually saying that as soon as I mean, I think that's the best way to identify when you have issues in your heart is when it's when an event happens and you are heavily offended
Negatively,
and
negatively impacted by it.
exactly when you are negatively impacted by it,
That's
then it shouldn't go. You should have the opposite reaction to it. But now people react by, oh, you didn't invite me, and what? Oh, so I'm not that important. Blah blah blah. Like you said, about the
that,
Facebook.
yeah.
But instead, sit back. Why am I offended? Why do I feel this way?
That's
So that means this is something that has been laying within my heart for a long time, and I didn't even know it. So now that's actually an opportunity for us to work on ourselves, to work on the conditions of our hearts, what is in our hearts. That's the best way to get rid of these things that you don't want within
That's
your heart.
Yeah, because you see, at times is that not all things that we consider bad is bad. It's God actually trying to preserve us.
Sure, it is true.
Like Joseph, he had to go through all these stages and that. He had to go through that.
Sure.
And he ended up being a prime minister. It's like an example. You see the shots on my face. I have been stabbed and it almost cost my life. But as a lot says, yeah, I want to spoil your face, your image, and all that. That was back then when I had that anger and I was cross with the guys. If I can just get them, and I knew who stabbed me. But I had a choice when God dealt to hurt me. I had a choice to can say, whenever I look at the scars, yeah, they stabbed me. That anger, I can rise or grace, see the grace of God, because it could have been my life, but God. So now when I look in the mirror, I have a choice to can say, whenever I look at the scars, I say, thank you for your grace, Daddy. Thank you for your grace. Why? It's not God, it's my decision. That's why the marks of Christ didn't disappear.
Yeah.
It was still there in remembrance to can see.
Yes.
I had to die for my children. I had to go to the cross so that I can have this reward of us being there now. You get what I'm saying? So we are daily faced with choices, good or bad. Yes, bad things will happen, and good things will happen with bad people, and bad things will happen with good people, because the word says He makes the sun shine on both the righteous and the unrighteous. So who are we to can say no because I'm righteous and no? There's a whole lot of rubbish that we don't know of. It just awaits certain events.
Exactly. Yes.
Then it will manifest. It will, unless we deal with it and acknowledge it and get classes or attend seminars concerning that. A lot think we don't need deliverance.
But we do.
Your heart needs to be cleaned out. And not just once. It's like a house. Imagine you got the house clean.
The first day.
You are not a messy person. But let me tell you, a house do get dirty.
Mm.
You have to shift things around the couches, sweep behind the couches, get the
Cleaning the
vacuum
yard,
cleaning.
cutting the grass.
Why is it we don't clean our hearts? Time to time we go and we examine ourselves. What is
Sure.
this?
That's hectic.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
We wash ourselves, yes, but we don't wash our hearts. We think we are all there. But now small things happens. I'm also still daily faced with that things. I have to work on myself. I have to watch what comes in because everything that is in my heart now came through the eyes and the ears.
Mm.
The only two gates.
Mm.
And because it went in is because there's no gate in my heart. So I had to erect one and say, God, what is this? And they start to talk about people. How do I respond?
Mm.
And they say all men are like that, all women are like that. I say, not my wife.
Mm.
I'm not like that.
Yes.
I will always counter a negative.
Mm.
Always. Whoever is in my space. Why? It's not because of them, because I make sure
Mm.
that can creep into my heart.
Mm.
If I pay close attention to it, but if I speak, I value my words, and that causes me to thrive.
And that is it. That developing that gate is very important.
Oh, it's a muscle that
It's very important, and it has to be trained. It has to be built. It has to be fed. It
daily.
has to be daily, daily, and that
That's it.
starts by questioning: is this moral or is this immoral?
Yeah.
Is this right? Is this wrong? Is this evil? Is this good? You know, asking those type of questions for whatever that enters here and enters here.
That's it, yeah.
You need to ask the questions. Ask yourself. Not don't need to physically ask, but ask yourself: is this something right that this person just gave me or told me or said to me? Am I gonna accept what they said? Is what they said moral? Is what they said right? And do I agree with it? And if I don't, am I gonna speak up against it if it's the right environment to do so? Or am I gonna just accept it and then whenever they see me, they think I agree with them?
That's it.
But it will put you in that same category as
That's it.
those people that are saying it, because if they are saying it to you and you are keeping quiet and you are just like, yeah, you are ultimately agreeing with that. So now you are breaking down your gate. The gate to your heart, you are breaking it down because you have certain people you want to say no to, and you have certain people you allow the things to happen.
That is when there's no values.
Mm.
When you have certain values in place, your values will protect you. Every time you speak up, you're putting up another bar on the gate.
And speaking truth and speaking value.
That's it. You're adding more bars, so that makes your heart. So whenever somebody will come and try to speak a negative, you will count it, or they will start to say, hey, I can't go to Jani. Ay man gaan my, moenie haar gaan nie.
And I think that's the best route to go. We need to consider truth and value. What is coming out?
That's it. So it's like in my case, everybody I deal with or move with, no, I'm very tough on time.
Rock solid.
If I'm very hard on time. And if you don't come to, or we must plan for a thing, listen, if we said we're going to be there at 10 o'clock and I come to you and you are not finished yet, I will meet you up there. It's not because I want to try to prove a point to you. I am disciplined in my time. And if I cannot make it, I will phone you. Whoever I am dealing with or
arrangements with you.
Whatever the case may be. And if I'm late, guess what? Somebody there will defend me. Why? Because they know me on that one aspect.
So what is in our hearts will definitely manifest.
It will manifest.
It will come out sooner or later. It will come out. Whatever is inside there will sprout up at the right event that demands it to come up.
But to our viewers, be sure that God will start to prune you. If He sees you are a one, it will bear much fruit. Be sure you might be faced now with some near hurt, but know that it's not for your downfall. It's God that's gonna elevate you.